the gates. Standing well. They're racing. Paris Report sprung the gates, landing in front, now gathering pace. Jevelation on its inside with Snippy Miss and also towards the rail Oricino. A length and a half to Snipperana, Unibell, and Pike is going to park the maiden filly. Native Chimes out the back last, but only about 4 from the lead. Down to the 700 they'd stride. Jevelation got through in the middle now to lead the way from Paris Report. He eases back with Oricino. Getting a great run on the outside is Snippy Miss, travelling up there fourth. A length and a half away at the 500 came Unibell from Snipperana, and he still hasn't really made his move with Native Chimes just yet. Just looking for one to tow him up to the home corner. Jevelation going for home at the 350. Leads the way from Paris Report, and off its heels now being put into the race on the outside is Snippy Miss. Oricino back towards the rail. Jevelation and Paris Report down to the 200 together. It's Paris Report on the outside. Jevelation fighting back though, tooth and nail. A length away, Snippy Miss starting to run on well as Paris Report gets the head in front, and Paris Report was too good at the finish. Paris Report won from Jevelation. Snippy Miss in behind them, both Snipperana and Native Chimes together from Unibell, and fading out of it towards the inside but not far away, Oricino. Paris Report is the winner. Number 6, the Dan Morton trained Sessions filly, makes it 2 for 2 in this campaign. Paris Report getting the upper hand over Jevelation in the final part. Snippy Miss enjoyed a perfect run behind them for Chris Graham. Was able to pop out there 3 deep approaching the corner, but found the sprint was beyond her. Paris Report really had the wheels spinning along, and the Oakland Park stud part-owned filly has landed the prize here and made it 5 starts, 2 wins, 2 placings. Oakland Park race this filly in partnership with Mrs. E.J. and K.M. McDonald in the Ascot yard of Danny Morton and handled by Jared Noski. Second placing to number 7, Jevelation, prepared by Tiana Robertson, by Safeguard from Javert, handled by Troy Turner, owned by the Magumba Park Syndicate, managed by Colin Brown, A. Mazurski, M. Thompson, E. Stewart and J. Strudwick, D. Warren, A. Redmayne and Mrs. S. Grant Redmayne, and Snippy Miss. Number 1, third home by Snippet Son from Medico Miss. For Jim Clary Smith, Mrs. M.J. and R.J. Smith, Mrs. B. Trevennan and M.J. Trevennan. And ridden by Chris Graham for trainer Adam Durant. Half a length, the long neck were margins. And the sectional 34.80 off a time of 1:06.56. Now the next event, race 5, the Glenroy Chaff handicap at 4:45. Without any changes there to the next on the program. So Paris Report 290 into 280, but back to 310 with that support that came for Native Chimes off the mark in the 4th race for the day. Ran favourite Paris Report. As Dan Morton heads down to the enclosure and is now joined there by Britt Taylor after this victory. 2 for 2, this preparation for Paris Report.
She's building up a nice little CV, this Sessions filly. Danny, another win for her. Were you expecting that today off the back of her first up victory?
Oh, you never expect it, but she's been going very well. I was very confident going in first up, and she'd done nothing wrong in between races, so it looked a nice race for her. A little bit worried in running there. She sort of sprang the lids pretty quick and got exposed, but yeah, nice win.
You happy enough to see her outside the leader?
I was sort of hoping we get a bit of cover. Actually, the breeze has probably dropped a bit, so that might have helped a bit too.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's funny with that breeze is on these Wednesdays. A lot of trainers looking to get cover when that breeze picks up, but when you look at the flags right now, it's actually died off a bit. What are your opinions of this horse in terms of progressing throughout this preparation?
I think she's a really nice filly moving forward. She looks like she'll get over a little bit of ground, maybe just at 12, 13, 14 might suit her a bit better the way she races. She's a Saturday grade horse all day, I think.
Do you head to a Saturday now, or do you just bide your time a little bit and try and knock off a couple midweeks?
If there's good races available midweek, we'll just keep picking those off.
Is she always a horse that sort of needs a clerk of the course, a little bit of guidance back?
No, she's very quiet, but she's the only one coming in, so...
She's probably wondering why all her mates have stopped off in the back parade ring. Well done to you, Danny.
Thank you.
Danny Morton, trainer of Paris Report, and just seeing the horse whip back very slowly, very kindly on Jared Noske, because all of her mates have headed back to the back parade ring, and she's wondering why she needs to come here. Well, sweetheart, when you win, that's where you end up, and to her connection's delight, this is where she is. Jared Noske will unsaddle and we'll have a word with him. He was on board in the trial as well as that first up victory over Modern Times in Bunbury, and today brings that form to town, sitting outside the leader. Danny saying that perhaps he was hoping to see her get that little bit of a spot of cover, Jared, but it wasn't to be. Were you very comfortable outside the leader?
When she got this, she was, yeah. Before the race, we sort of agreed that they're making ground good. It'd be nice to cover her up like last start, but I know it's hard for them to make ground when you're crawling, so yeah, she's done a good job.
You're pretty comfortable with that speed out in front, nice and slow?
Yeah, we're going very slow, and I was able to come back off the leader and not be hitting the front too soon still, so it worked out really good.
We're just talking about that wind. Pre-race, and we were probably thinking there would be southwesterlies. It seemed to drop off for that race. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, definitely. I feel the sun beating down on me now.
Go get in the rooms and get some shade. Well done.
Cheers.
Jared Noske and Danny Morton combining with Paris Report, taking out the PIMS handicap.